Due to my shortage of time, I can only get in these quick bodyweight calisthenics workouts throughout the day. This allows me to not spend a lot of time hauling equipment around or spending a good fraction of my day at a single place. Rather than I can get some work in as I go about my day, rather than spending a ton of time at a single place, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. Like, I can still get in a quick workout if I went to the gym or something, but I'm really trying to optimize the time I have, or at least that's what I'm trying to. So, I think the overall stress of schoolwork is also taxing my CNS. So, these body weight training seems to be helpful. So, yeah, I made this purchase of the Kensui Nanobar V2. I have purchased things from this company in the past, and I do think the stuff I did buy is pretty decent. To be completely candid, these products are definitely towards the pricier end, so I didn't want to recommend some of the things I've gotten that are a bit more pricey, and anything I want to really talk about should have a good reason to justify it for a person who doesn't want to spend all that. I guess if you do have the cash to spare, go ahead. The company Kensui makes a lot of products, and in my personal opinion, they're sometimes hit or miss. So I'm only going to recommend the ones that I think are great. If you've noticed in the past, I do have their affiliate link in my YouTube bio or something, and I did leave some of the affiliate links in some of the videos, I think, of the Easy Vest, which I do think is a great product, but is definitely on that pricier side. So, and if you asked me whether you should get the Easy Vest or to buy a cheaper used or just a cheaper power rack, I would normally recommend the power rack if you were in a situation where you're forced to pick only one. Tangent aside, the main reason why I wanted to get this video out and to support this company, despite even when some products, like I said, are hit or miss, is that their customer service is genuinely really good. And I do believe that they care for their customers, and they're always constantly innovating and taking in customer comments and ideas and feedback of sorts, as well as standing by their products. And I believe that they wouldn't cut corners and things like that. As I said, how I'm on a big calisthenics kick recently, and I would usually more commonly recommend rings for calisthenics training. The Kensui Nanobar V2 is around a similar price of a good pair of rings, but is much smaller and more portable due to its form factor. Rings are already decently portable, but as my backpack is already full with my laptop and textbooks, I would rather try and save the limited space I have. The Nanobar V2 is portable to the point where it can fit in my pocket, and it's around 0.8 pounds or 376 grams. The past items I have purchased from Kensui are metal, as I prefer it, so I did wonder about these nylon composite material, but it does feel incredibly solid, and the knurling or the knurled grips is quite nice. There is a flat section in the handles, that makes it so when used with the straps, it would be a stable pulling surface, which is nice when doing both dips and pull ups. And their other section, which doesn't have the flat portion, is curved as a normal tube would, which rotates when doing exercises like flies, bicep curling motions, and tricep movements, which I do think is a brilliant idea. First impressions on the straps is that they're very long, which is extremely nice. If you know from my past videos, the landlord cut the tree branch that I used to hang my rings on, but these straps are so much longer that I can still manage to hang them. And I have quite a bit of ideas on where I could hang these things on campus. And the fact that the straps have so much extra length gives me a lot of opportunities to set this up at various locations. This is just my first impressions of the product. And I said earlier that I just really wanted to support the company because I think they care for their product and the customers. Did I mention their great customer service? But this piece isn't extremely pricey. It's close to a nice pair of rings. So I feel like I'm more comfortable recommending it to the average trainee, at least compared to the vest, which I think is a incredible product. And I will make a long form review of that as I already have used it for a considerable amount of time. But just due to the price point, I can't completely recommend it to just the average guy on spending a fair bit of dough when there are other things and modalities that might give them more results or more bang for their buck type of results. I can't in good conscience do that, despite some of these equipment being absolute game changers with innovative ideas that aren't in the market or haven't been previously done. There's nothing quite like some of these products. So, to be fair, when recommending these things, I'm going to personally use them for a considerable amount of time before I make any further conclusions. As my first impression, though, is I do like it, and I will likely be using this long term, at least on campus, for however long it takes. And if anyone watches these videos and things like that, I would be using the equipment and I can then comment on how they age or any further thoughts that may come up. I'm going to leave the affiliate links of the nanobars in the comments. If you want to support me, and only if you have the cash to spend. And I will be using these for the foreseeable future, and you can then form some judgment based on those videos. Or maybe something comes up where I don't personally like the product anymore, and I would then remove my links. I just want to be as honest as possible when it comes to these things. I don't got much to be spending on stuff like this, training equipment wise. But that concludes my first workout with the Kensui Nanobars V2. A bit of a pump check for vanity reasons. I've been on a bulk recently, so we can see how much I may or may not progress as time goes. And that's it. Bit of a video of after the workout. You can see that they still look fresh, which they should after a single workout. And it also shows me winding it up and fitting in my pocket. I really like this Velcro design where I can wind it up and keep it in a neat bundle. I'm also trying to figure out ways to bundle them. I think I would get faster with time, but I can already um, pack it up pretty quickly. So, yeah, first impressions, I do think it's a great product. We'll have to see long term as I'm using it. Only think about it if you have the funds and cash to spend. You can use my links to support me when you make that decision and make that decision as I am testing and featuring it on this channel for the foreseeable future. Thank you.